Champion! We are here at King of the Dot, and they just had Massacre 3. I was in the building. First and foremost, I want to thank Sean S. Mac on Twitter. I want to thank King Fly and Avocado for making me have a great first King of the Dot experience, my first time ever in the building. But we got the man, the myth, the legend, Tech 9 here. How do you feel about the event overall? You saw it on pay-per-view, correct?
Yeah, I saw it on pay-per-view. First of all, King of the Dot. Yeah, not to take something out of my colleague's page. King of the Dot.
It's all yours.
Shake my hand. Shake my hand. I was impressed from start to finish. The venue was great.
It was extremely big. Sorry.
The way that the artists had their theme music, they were on stage by themselves. They walked out. The artists, when they came out, they looked like rock stars. The music, the content. While I'm watching a pay-per-view, I was entertained. I didn't have to fast forward anything. You had Marv 1 and Dirtbag Dan.
They did a great job.
Yes, they did. Doing the commentating post-battle. They had music videos. They had Champion, which was one of my favorite parts when they had the face-off between Daylight and Mickey Fats. They did it the way it's supposed to be done.
Okay.
Battle leagues, when you do a pay-per-view stream, watch this King of the Dot battle pay-per-view stream and take notes, because they did it exactly the way it's supposed to be done.
Avocado's been doing this for years. He knows what he's doing, so this is nothing new for me.
Yeah.
I already know he's good with production. I already knew he would do stuff like this, and their commentary has always been on point. They usually have a team, so I'm not mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to jump into the first battle? Shotgun shook.
Before we jump into the first battle, Boston.
Yeah.
Electric from the beginning. The chills. I had chills watching them make noise.
Yeah.
This is the way a battle rap crowd should be. So I want to give a big shout out and a salute to Boston for doing such a great job with the battles and not falling asleep. Well, they did some battles, but we'll get into that later. But they did a great job, so we can get in. Go ahead, we can get into it.
Shotgun Shook versus Shoddy P. My initial thoughts: I'm not too crazy about this battle. I expect a little more from Shoddy P. Shotgun Shook is a massive opponent. You know, he needed a little more things, more aggression. I felt like he joked a little too much, and then he dropped the ball in the third. It still was a close battle, don't get me wrong, but I got Shotgun Shook in an okay battle.
Yeah. I'm not stopping the microwave for this battle. No way. I'm looking through my notes here. Shoddy started off, he was stumbling. Just like I said on Champion weeks prior to the battle, this would be the popcorn break. This would be.
I think somebody might have said that in the crowd. I think either this one or the next battle, they said bathroom break as he was rapping. I'm not mad at that.
I said it. This was a snoodoozle. You know, a snooze. You snooze. You dab and you take a nap at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a snoodoozle. This battle overall was just horrible. Suge was just Suge. He wasn't spectacular. He wasn't over the top. Shoddy P was awful. Just the battle overall. It's just and it's just not a great way to open up the show.
Very underwhelming.
Yeah,
honestly, I'm like, because I came to the event halfway through, and I'm like, some people in the crowd said you didn't really miss anything. I missed the first three. Yeah. I missed DNA and Jim. That's pretty big. We can get to that, but. With this battle, even a pocket check in the first round, it's like it felt like one of them baby play with your pocket. It wasn't that serious.
Not a good way to start the show. I think every time you start a show off, it should be a highlight moment. It should be one of the best moments of the battle. The crowd is fresh. They're waiting to erupt. It's easy to put on a good performance when you're the first battle.
They did not set the tone at all. At all. With two chokes too.
No.
Choking the second and third by Shoddy and Shotgun.
And then there was a third. Shoddy stumbled and then he quit early in the third. It was a 3-0 for Suge. It was a 3-0.
I got Suge 2-1. I mean, he did choke. I mean, Shoddy did choke. So
yeah, I got Suge 3-0, but just not a good battle at all overall. Who cares?
Charlie Clips versus the Source. This wasn't too crazy of a battle either. I just wasn't feeling it. You know, the playback. I mean, Clips did a few good things, and The Source did a few good things, but I just wasn't that into it. I'm gonna be honest here. And the standout line for me that Clips had, he said, "You battle 125 times. You're not a battler. You're a league."
Yeah.
That just stuck in my head all the way right through.
I gotta go the other way, man. I thought Clips showed up.
He won. He won, but
I felt like
it's not a good battle to me.
I felt like he had some OBC in his first, but I felt like overall this was a good showing for Clips. I felt like Thesaurus didn't do anything spectacular. All he was doing was he was up there just rhyming words. Just making things sound good, but when you get down to the nitty gritty, he wasn't really saying anything. And I felt like Clips' third round was really good. I felt like if I'm paying Clips to battle this, I felt like he earned his money.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
But the Thesaurus, I
expect a little more from the Thesaurus because you got to think. He even said, and I think in the intro or something like that, he took 6 months off.
Right.
6 months since his last battle, so. That's a lot of preparation time. Whether you know you're going up against Clips or not, you have time to store some good bars, if you will.
Yes, you do.
I don't think he did that.
No.
He had some current event bars too.
He did.
Clips that had some current. The Chris thing, not to jump on that, but Chris, that's pretty current event. But the OJ is fresh. It just happened. Why not? Sometimes, why not?
I don't penalize anybody for current event bars. The fans, they know it's coming. They want to hear it. Even if people say, "Oh, it's a current event bar," if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad.
And I think the main problem with Thesaurus versus Clips, the same problem that Iron Solomon faced. He says, "Well, you don't show up, you don't do this, you don't do this," but this time the guy standing in front of you is here. He's rapping to you, so everything you're doing is somewhat null and void.
Yeah,
I'm in favor of Clips this battle.
Yeah, Clips had some good rebuttals in this battle. Some awesome rebuttals. Coming off of what Clips just did, a double impact too, I felt like the train is still moving for Clips.
Clips might be undefeated this year, Tech.
Yeah.
He might have humbled you, Tech.
Yeah, I'm humbled. and I'm watching. I said, okay, let's see if he's gonna, bring me back down and say, oh, here you go, Clips being Clips. No, Clips was. I felt like he showed up this battle. Thesaurus, I don't know where you were at. I don't know what you were thinking, but. I think the Thesaurus just needs to just go on ahead and just go ahead and
chill for a minute.
Just retire and just.
Oh my goodness!
It's over.
Mr. Two-time everything.
I mean, okay, well he battled 190,000 times. It's over.
So he's the league.
Like Cliff said, he's a league. You're old, and it showed. It showed. The Stars remind me of the NBA player on his last limb. 20 years in the league, and he's only playing 5 minutes a game. That's what he reminded me of. It's just like enough is enough. Enough is enough. Just stop.
All he needs is one good battle, So we'll see Thesaurus on the next card. Probably World Dominant, see what he does there. But
I'm not.
Because he didn't use his preparation time.
No, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him.
Let's jump on to the next one. DNA versus Gems. DNA versus Gems. I'm actually mad that I came to the event, my first King Out event, and I missed this. And he was calling it the Battle of the Night. I watched the pay-per-view. It was really good.
You missed a goodie.
Gems improved. DNA took him serious. I like the fact that Gems pissed him off, because had Gems not pissed him off with the blog he did, the funny one, DNA would have came, a regular DNA. DNA was very motivated for this. And it made for a great battle.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. Great battle. Battle of the night.
Yeah.
For me, like I said, the only thing that you could argue was the surprise battle, which was Hollow and Diz. If Hollow and Diz came with 3 rounds like their first round, then they would have easily been the battle of the night. But DNA and Gems had a full 3 rounds of back and forth, great tennis match. This was a really good battle. DNA had some great rebuttals. When Gems had good props, I'm not really a fan of props, but I thought his props was good.
He needs to make Stop Being Dirty a thing.
Yeah.
I want Stop Being Dirty every single. I don't even care if you're facing Goods. Find a way to say that Goods is dirty. Find a way to say the cleanest person, Mr. Clean himself, is dirty. I want everybody to be dirty.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah. I mean, and then he's pulling stuff out, and then one of his guys threw him the bottle of time. He caught it. Great catch. I mean, I don't know if he...
Perfect.
I don't know if he...
They rehearsed that?
I don't know if he... I don't know. He played football or something, because he caught it. It was a perfect catch.
Perfect catch.
DNA, DNA was DNA, of course. DNA went to... he had some OBC in there. Diddy, Mr. Bentley... And that's what happened.
KRS One, maybe one, I think, but he was trying to do a whole Queens thing with that, so I'm not too mad at that.
Then he did the Jordan pose. See this what happened with DNA in the third, which is why I gave Gems the battle 2-1, because DNA dropped the ball in the third. I got DNA clearly taking the first.
Oh, me too.
I got Gems clearly taking the second.
I don't see Gems clearly taking the second.
Yeah, I got Gems in the second. Gems is real creative. He can go from being dead serious to sarcastic in seconds.
Yeah.
And I love that about him. And I think
that's why people love his blogs too. Like, he's hilarious, he's entertaining, but he's also giving you clear, concise breakdowns of the battle. And I think people let the funny stuff overshadow that when he's really good all around. Really good. So,
and the Stop Being Dirty was the second round with the props. I felt like he won that.
DNA also rebutted that too.
He rebutted it. It was okay, but I just still
like the original better.
I like the original. I like the original better. And the thing about DNA with the third, which is why I say he dropped the ball, when you do outdated bars, you put a bad taste in the crowd's mouth. And then what happened was, by the time DNA got to his haymakers, they were already like done with him. So he had some haymaker lines in there that didn't hit because of the lines he spit prior to getting to that point.
Yeah.
Everything is a build-up. If you don't build it up right, if you don't tell me the story right, by the time you get to the point that you were trying to make, you've already lost me. And I'm saying, what did you say? And that's what happened with the DNA. And I felt like Gems won the second and third round, and DNA won the first.
I'm not mad at that. At this point in time, because we always do full recaps, I'm gonna say 2-1 either way right now. Because the original, like I said, with the original is really good, and the rebuttal, because DNA rebutted everything he did. He even rebutted the saga flip. Let's let the match debate. So I'm not mad at that. So when the battle comes out, we'll see exactly where we're going. But let's go into the next battle. Okay. A-Verb versus Sharon. Now I'm walking in. I think A-Verb goes. So in the building, I missed A-Verb's first round.
Right.
But as me and Sean are walking in, shout out to S-Mac, my guy. As I was walking in, we see Sharon rapping, and it's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So, but how you feel?
I'm stopping the microwave for this battle.
Okay.
It was a good battle. Sharon, he came with it. He was very good. Verb was okay. Verb was Verb.
Verb was okay in the first 2 rounds. Yeah. I'll say that.
Yeah, I felt like Verb was good in the first round, and I actually have Verb taking. Well,
I got Verb taking the first round as well. I thought he was doing good.
Yeah, I think Sharon came out on fire. Sharon came out the gate with material that was very good. I think Sharon won the first round easily. I got A-Verb in the first.
Yeah,
I think he outclassed.
And the way he brought back the Confederate, what Sharon had wore a Confederate flag, even though he apologized for that. Thank you, Sharon. He flipped that and turned into something like, and the momentum he had going in, and the way he ended that round, like he was mad at him for every racist remark that anyone made. It was very powerful to me. Yeah. I
just felt like Verb was a little bit sloppy in the first. Sharon was just his material was there, his flow, his pace, his crowd control, everything was there. And then I think by the time we got into the second, Verb did his Showtime, his patented move, and he won the second with that.
So you giving A-Verb the second?
I'm giving A-Verb the second round.
I'm giving Sharon the second. This is only one watch. People. This is for me being in the building. Okay. I only watched A-Verb's first round. They have a clear, concise thing. So, but that's from being in the building. So you said.
I got A-Verb in the second. I got Sharon in the first. I think A-Verb's Showtime overpowered and outshadowed anything that Sharon did in the second round.
Was that the 5%er?
Yeah, the 5% and
5% center. Yeah,
all of that was really good with the Showtime. And then we jump into the third. I mean, we're not clearly breaking it down fully like we normally do, but we jump into the third, and that's when it just went downhill for
Verb. It sounded like what he had open in the third. I think the first third of his third round, like that could be on the track.
Yeah.
I understand he's rapping, but when you got a person that's across from you that's very direct, puts you at disadvantage, and it showed. And I think this was Sharon's best round of the battle.
It was.
What a way to close out.
It was.
What a way to close out.
It was. He broke Verb down from the beginning to the from beginning to the end. The look at me when I retire.
Oh my goodness.
That was ridiculous. Like I said, throughout the whole battle, Verb's been leaving the window open for someone to just come in and take whatever they want, and that's exactly what he did. He left the window open, and not only did Sharon take what he wanted, he vandalized his home as well.
Oh, but in the third
round, Sharon basically someone left the oven on and left out and went to work, and A-Verb was trapped inside of the oven. He smoked A-Verb. A-Verb's body's charred.
That's only 1 round.
In 1 round, yeah. I mean, it was 1-1. I mean, you got Sharon in the second, right?
Yeah.
And you got Verb in the first.
Yeah.
I got Sharon in the first, and I got Verb in the second.
Yeah.
So either way you look at it, it's 1-1 going into the third, and then Verb drops the ball and gets smoked bad like that. This is not even up for debate. And then I think Verb kind of ended short in his third round.
Yeah.
I don't know if he forgot what he was gonna say. I don't know what happened there.
Just wasn't that good of a round. And Sharon, the line that I love from him, I'm not battling you, I'm beating my top scorer.
Oh, that was awesome.
And I think that's when it went to the retirement.
That was crazy.
People online said Averb got bodied. We gotta acknowledge the fact that Sharon himself acknowledged that this battle was close going into the third. So it wasn't a watch. Verb was saying some stuff. I still had Sharon winning also though.
Yeah, clear.
Let's get into the next one.
Clear 2-1.
Here we go. Daylight versus Mickey Facts. Daylight versus Mickey Facts.
Oh my goodness.
I want to apologize to everyone.
Please.
I'm going to apologize.
Apologize to me.
Yeah, I'm apologizing to you too. Sorry, Tech 9. Sorry, Tech.
Yeah.
Technical Tech. Sorry to everyone that viewed the face-off. I thought I was setting a tone. I thought that I knew something. The history between the two. They've been in a group called 750 Debate. They went back and forth every day. Daylight let off rounds years ago on Mickey for free. So I'm not sure what happened here, but Mickey performed. Mickey did his thing. All 3 rounds. And if you think I think the first round was good, but if you pay attention to the layers in which he did a few things in the first round, it was also good. But he displayed every aspect of a battle rapper that's needed. This was a come up from his Danger Zone battle. Rumble, young man, rumble.
Rumble, young man, rumble.
How you feel?
There
you go.
First of all, it's not Mickey Fat's fault.
Not at all. He should be rewarded
for the reason why. But I'm not stopping the microwave for this battle.
Okay.
My phone ringer is up. The TV is on. I'm going through every room in my home, checking the ceiling fans and make sure there's no dust build up. It just is what it is. Some idiot's driving down the block on a motorcycle. He's setting the car alarms off. I'm leaving my car alarm on until the battle's over. Yeah. It's just what it is. The battle was just horrible. And the only reason why I'm not stopping the car alarm because this battle's terrible. And I'd rather listen to the alarm versus this battle. The battle was bad because of Daylight. It was not Mickey Fat's. It wasn't Mickey Fat's fault.
He did what he's supposed to do. Yeah.
Daylight was absolutely horrible. He cut his round short in the second. He cut his round short in the third. He got booed by a crowd that never boos. You can choke for 45 minutes and they will not boo you. And he got booed twice.
He did that.
He got booed in the second and the third. He was horrible. He popped so much stuff. He talked about all the stuff he was going to do on Twitter, online, and social media. He sat up here and championed on set, and he ran his mouth, and he got cooked. Bad. This was bad.
Mickey said, y'all don't know Devon, I'm going to beat the Daylight side of him. Daylight doesn't even exist anymore. You can check his Twitter. His name is Devon Campbell. That's it.
Right, and rightfully so.
What?
Oh no, rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Okay. But Mickey, he had personals. He had talk to moments. He had better writing. He had better performance. Round length, time given versus time taken. More aggressive. Invaded Daylight space. I feel like even though Daylight did what he did, Mickey still won. Right. Sometimes when you beat Daylight, you don't really beat him. Mickey beat him and beat him. He covered all grounds in the third round. This is the day that we won. We want this to Philly Swain. He did all that.
He did it all.
So Mickey clearly this was Evil Ryu versus Dan.
Yeah.
iPhone 8 versus Sidekick 2.
Yeah.
Usain Bolt versus Drake.
Yeah.
Degrassi.
Yeah.
WCW Raven versus That's So Raven.
Yeah.
This was bad. This was very bad.
Mickey, I want you to turn yourself in. The Boston, the Massachusetts police are right now, they're looking out for you. There's a warrant out for your arrest. You assaulted Daylight. Yeah. Daylight was battered, bruised. He was destroyed, taken apart. He's down at the police station right now. The detectives are offering him a cigarette and a can of soda. And the statements is signed. He's already signed a statement. You need to turn yourself in for the assault on Daylight. Daylight, not good. Not good, man. Not
Mickey
good.
Facts clearly 3-0. There is no debate here.
No.
I will recap the battle when it comes out, but there's really no point. Daylight had some stuff in it first, but I feel like when you're that intricate, you should spread it apart. You can't give people that much stuff to digest every single second. That's literally impossible. I'm trying to figure out every single thing you say as you say it without no entertainment value to it.
Right.
Mickey Facts 3-0.
What Mickey Fats did was he stripped Daylight power. He said, you say this and you do that and you say these words, but you're really not that smart. And when you break it down, when Daylight's talking about Earth, aliens, and all that, they got history channels and all that stuff for that. You know what I mean? And he went off the deep end. The first round, I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
So definitely Mickey Fats 3-0. Daylight, you've been well for the culture, and I'm glad that you're deciding to retire and just go ahead and relax and maybe follow a music career or something.
Maybe this was his way out, getting beat this bad. Maybe that was his initial plan.
It was a bad way to go out, but he pulled a Ronda Rousey. He quit.
Yeah. But next, and I want to say this, I had no clue. Like, again, shout out to S-Mac, Sean, Avocado, King Fly. This is my first ever King of the Dot event. And for Hollow versus Diz to come out, this is why I kind of want to stop doing everything. I want to be a fan. I felt so good. I was screaming. I was going crazy. Everybody was surprised. There's been rumors going around, but it's like no one actually thought, like, why would you do a secret surprise battle of Hollow versus Diz when you can put on a card and make real money? I was extremely happy about this battle.
Goosebumps.
All the way through.
Goosebumps when they walked out and Diz had his mask on, Hollow had his mask on. They cut the lights off. I thought the Undertaker was about to come out.
It felt like
the lights went out and they didn't even announce the battle. These guys just took their mask off, the light came on, and the building erupted. Classic moment.
Yeah.
Classic moment in
music
battle.
too, like they knew what they was doing with that one. And I felt like, and I've said this before, I said, Bishop Agante is on Twitter, he's doing these hints that I do. He's like, yo, Calico loaded. I'm like, this card the card doesn't shut down anything. The card is pretty good, with the name and stuff like that, but it needs a showstopper. This was the showstopper, and for me, some of the battles coming in before weren't that good. We had DNA versus Gems, and then Daylight did what he did with Mickey Facts. We need something to save the event. This saved the event.
Yes, it did.
Clearly.
Yes, it did.
I liked the battle too.
I loved it.
I can't wait for the 3 rounds.
I can't wait for the 3 rounds. Like I said, I gave DNA and Gems battle of the night, but I also felt like if Diz and Hollow had 3 rounds of their first round, they would have clearly taken battle of the night. It was on an easy pass expressway to Classic County, and the only reason why it's not being rated as a classic is because it's a 1-rounder. Yeah, and you're not going to see.
It's hard to judge, and you got Disaster going over the time limit by like even 2. I think he spit like 9 minutes. Shout out to Battle Rap Stats.
Yeah, he went too long.
He went 9 minutes, and Hollow went for like a good 5:36.
Yeah. Then Hollow walked off, sat down. And
let's talk about it. Disaster used the word. If people paying attention to the lyrics, he used it actually twice. How do you feel about this tech? The N-word. I mean, we got to address it at this point. Who would we be if we didn't?
The N-word is always a touchy subject when you use it. We've seen people lose their whole career over using the N-word. We've seen it happen, and it's like the N-word when. You can't play around with something like that because you're not just talking about a culture. You're talking about the world. You're talking about a lot of people that's going to be offended. Not only African Americans, but Caucasians.
People in the crowd too. They felt the way. They're like, this is cringeworthy. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to react. I feel out of place.
This general overall, same thing like when you talk about the Jews and the Holocaust. Like it's touchy subjects that you just really shouldn't go there. And I just felt like that. This is one of them. And hip hop. Yeah. When you talk about using that word in hip hop so freely, the way you used it, I mean, I didn't really like it when he said, because you've never been a stand up N-word. Yeah. I looked at it.
He didn't write it down, and it wasn't freestyle because Hollow did what he did. He sat down. I didn't like it either. It feels to me like if I can use the analogy for it, like because Disaster's a cool dude. Disaster's not a racist, but
no, he's not.
to me, it's like if you watch Anchorman, and when Ron Burgundy said F San Francisco, and everyone was just mad, like, this is our guy, why did he do that? That's how I felt with Disaster. You know what I mean? I briefly spoke to him, so I kind of said what I said. I kind of told him my initial feelings, like, I'm not really feeling that. I'm not too crazy about it. We spoke about something else. I'm not going to speak on that. But it's like, I wasn't feeling it.
No, I wasn't. And to talk about another good example, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
You know, Hulk Hogan is clearly not a racist.
Yeah,
you know,
at all.
he hangs he hangs around black people all the time, but he used the N-word, and the sound bites were picked up, and the WWE had to do away with him for a couple years. Like I said, it's just not nothing to play with. You can't play around with that, and for him to do it on such a big stage and just feel comfortable. You said it was twice. I only caught it once.
Because the first time he said it was just like, nigga, but then the second time he said it was more out of frustration. It was kind of the punchline. He's not a stand up, and then he acknowledged after the fact that, oh, I shouldn't even say this. So it's like, it put the whole entire, like, the battle with the whole concept of them two getting a surprise battle was fire, and that just, it took away from the battle a little bit.
Put a cloud over it.
Yeah, like, and the controversy should have been about Hollow versus Diz, not about Disaster saying the N-word, you know what I mean? But it's been said a lot of times in battles in different leagues, and if I want to quote somebody real fast, just imagine Diz saying what he said.
Okay.
But then imagine someone saying this. If you've been watching battle rap for this long, you should understand what I'm about to say. You're not funny and you can't rap. I'm killing this damn cat. It won't be the first time my son my children are half black. Yeah, I said it. And if I offended you, I obviously meant to. I want to show you the difference between hip hop and Comedy Central. You figured a bunch of white jokes would play me? Well, bitch. Sound like you're still pissed over slavery. That was said. That was said 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I remember that.
My thing is this. We can sit here and be mad, but no one's really gonna do anything.
No.
It comes down to a battle rapper to get in the ring with him and really break him down. Danny Myers kept saying the King of Harlem. But who's gonna stop him? Swave Sever stopped him. So maybe one of these guys, battle rappers, gotta do something. Other than that, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do. I mean, he said to run up. Who's gonna run up? Nobody. I think. Honestly, but I don't want to get into that.
I didn't hear him boasting and talking about run up and do all that stuff. He doesn't want to wage a war, that kind of war, because he'll have Black Lives Movement people outside of his house, and that's a war you're not going to win, sir.
Yeah.
So I just felt like the way he did it was disrespectful by using the word, but he wasn't disrespecting the culture.
He wasn't.
He said that you know, because you've never been a stand up.
Yeah.
You know, nigga. And the way he said it was a part of a punchline. It was risky. Yeah. But I don't think there was any malice, disrespect behind it.
At all.
No, it wasn't like, he's just saying it, like you would do in the slavery days. But at the end of the day, like we said, we can't shy away from it. We can't give him a pass. You give Disaster a pass. Now you open the door for a whole bunch of people who want to try stuff, and they might not do it the right way. And then now we have the epidemic on our hands.
And that's gonna be a whole other thing there.
Yeah, you put the ER on, and now you're really in trouble. But Disaster, don't do it again. Just leave it alone.
And the thing about it, he was trying to go, before he even said that, he was about to go into a positive Black Lives Matter speech and had that in front of it. It took away from it, but I'm not gonna, we're not gonna sit up here.
I mean, I not to cut you. I heard the Black Lives thing when he said you screaming Black Lives Matter, the blacks are killing the blacks, which I kind of like that line.
That's what I'm saying.
I like the line.
With it, and I think he finished it on Instagram, so people you can check it out there. Follow Disaster on Instagram, Mr. Disaster, I think. But I don't want to sit on that too long. I dig deep into battles, not into the politics of things. So let's get to the next one.
So to end it off, I'm mad at Disaster, but it's not like I'm looking for him or I hate him. It's something you go, don't do that again, and you get on and you move on with it.
Come on, Ron Burgundy, pook.
Yeah. I'm not going to hold anything against him. I'm still a fan of Disaster.
I'm still a fan of Disaster too. But King of the Dot, this is where you messed up. I'm not sure what you were thinking, and why would you do this? Why would you do this to your artist? Why would you put up Illmac versus Chilla Jones right after that blockbuster? Controversy, all the excitement, I'm going crazy, the room is going crazy, they sucked the room dry.
Yes.
And then you put on this battle. I couldn't even focus properly for this battle. I don't know who won. Hopefully you got notes on this tech.
I have notes on it. I have notes on it.
I was watching, but I couldn't focus.
I have notes on it, but like I said, I fell asleep. Mass was very long.
Yeah.
I spent 2 days breaking down the battles. Each breakdown took me 45 minutes to an hour to break down. This was a hard battle to break down. I found myself falling into the keyboard half the whole battle. Chilla is already boring. And his voice is semi-annoying.
He was very sick.
But with him being sick, it just exaggerated how boring he can be. His voice was very annoying, hard to listen to. His lines were good.
Yeah.
But because his voice sounded, we always say it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
And because of the way he projected it, it sounded horrible. Il Mac just rhymed and rhymed and rhymed about a bunch of nothing. Just not a good battle for me at all.
I just want to verify, Chilla Jones didn't tell me to say this. I walked up on Chilla Jones and his nose was dripping. This man was literally sick. I want to, just thank you for even coming out to the battle, even completing the battle. But he was definitely 100% sick, out of it. He looked out of it. He looked like something was wrong with him. So maybe that would have affected the battle too. And Il Mac, he did cool to me. So
Chilla said a line in his opening round. If you're sick, you should have stayed home.
Yeah.
Why would he say that line at this particular battle? Yeah. Because I'm thinking in my head, dude, you're sick. You need to stay home. I understand that you want to get this battle done, but it was cringeworthy. Like you said, Il Mac was okay, but overall the battle was terrible. And I think I got Chilla winning it 2-1.
Yeah, I think I gave Chilla the first, and I may have give Il Mac the second. I don't want to say it officially. I'll wait till it drops on YouTube and recap it then. But in the building, I was out of it.
Yeah,
and that's when I spoke to Diz. I spoke to Diz during that battle, so I was like,
Yeah, I got Chilla in the first, I got Il Mac in the second, and I got Chilla in the third. That's how I called it 2-1. So
let's move to the next one, the Mr. Disrespectful versus the Legend. Well, first of all, both of them are legends. Iron Solomon versus Arsenal. First of all, I want to point out that I love the fact that Arsenal acknowledged that he has a battle with Loaded Lux, but he says, yo, I'm not about to take him light. I'm about to cook this man. Watch. That was a great way to open.
Yeah.
Even the introduction, not even your rounds, but the introduction. I loved it.
Fire battle.
Okay.
Like this was the second best battle of the night. To keep it all the way, Gems and DNA got battle of the night. This was right there with it. Both of them came with it. Arsenal, I couldn't even tell he's battling Lux 2 weeks from now.
Definitely in the first round.
I couldn't tell.
He was on him.
He was on fire. His aggression, his wordplay, the pace. He set the tone, the crowd control. He did a shook pocket tap in the beginning. He was all over Iron Solomon in that first round.
Mighty comfortable.
Very comfortable. Very comfortable. He controlled the pace in the first round. And then we get to the second round is when things started to shift.
Oh, you want to talk? Let's talk about it.
Okay. And Iron started to...
I'm not... See, this is... I understand how the N-word is. I understand what Disaster said, and I definitely don't agree with what he said. But obviously, I felt like this was more disrespectful.
Okay.
And this is very more cringeworthy. Iron Solomon was doing good in the second.
Right.
To me, he could have, probably got the battle, but he dropped the ball saying this. And battling Arsenal, everyone wants to be disrespectful. Arsenal takes you out your element and make you want to become him. And Iron Solomon took the wrong route. Nakaya, I want to apologize to you. You know what I mean? If you even have to relive that, you and your wife, that's just... I'm not sure. You're a veteran. You've been doing this for years. I'm not sure why you would even take that approach.
About the daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
I don't even want to bring it back up.
I don't think... he didn't disrespect Nakaya.
He did. The fact that you even bringing it up and you said, even bringing it... If you make someone relive that moment, it's like...
brain tumor. But I think...
And I wish that happened to yours. So you didn't beat Arsenal, you beat Nakaya. That's bad to me.
So he said.
I can only imagine if I had a daughter.
So he said the brain tumor would. Sorry, Nakaya, I heard what my first time hearing this. He said that, and then he went into Arsenal, who's very disrespectful.
Yeah.
So he's taking a disrespectful approach. And then he kind of cleaned it up when he said, that's not me. I hope you have a healthy baby, and you give him a lot of kisses or something. If I'm not mistaken, I think
you can't take back what you said. Nakaya still felt it. You know what I mean? If you check the Facebook, the Twitters, Nakaya feels a way about it. Even his wife feels a way about it. That's just
and
it took away from the battle for me.
No, you know what? I'm sorry. No,
he said disrespect wasn't real.
I think Big K said that. I'm getting the battles confused.
I think
Big K said something about I hope you have a healthy baby with Pat Stay. So I'm getting them confused there.
Yeah.
He didn't clean it up. Iron Solomon didn't clean it up.
What he did was he said disrespect isn't real. Like all Arsenal disrespect isn't real. So I mean, in that sense, he cleaned it up. But nah.
That was he crossed the line with that one.
Way.
He and Iron Solomon, OBC is here, and when my colleagues get together and we really break down Mastery battle for battle and go round for round, I will be talking about the OBC Commission because the OBC Commission was in the house in full effect. Their presence was known.
I think I probably saw one of them in the crowd.
Oh, you had to see one of them. We're there, and Iron Solomon used the Detroit line and the Arsenal bust up. Come on. And when Iron Solomon used the Detroit line, it wasn't even spectacular.
Yeah, you got to do what Clips did and break it down like that, make him hurt. But if you don't make him hurt, it's gonna be pointless.
Yeah, and it was pointless. It was like, here we go again, and the crowd didn't fall for it. Mm-hmm. It fell flat. They looked at him like, "What are you doing, sir?" So.
I mean, overall, Iron Solomon did good to me. And overall, Arsenal did good to me. I feel like Arsenal was really trying to close out his career on two good notes, and this was a good note. Mm-hmm. I mean, aside from the cringeworthy stuff that Iron Solomon said, Iron Solomon, you're welcome on the show anytime to talk about this. Maybe do a PSA for Nakaya. It's up to you. You got my number. You can reach out to me and we can get it done. But still a good battle.
I got
okay-ish.
It was okay. Like I said, I thought it was the second best battle of the night as far as competition and back and forth. I gave it to Iron 2-1. Yeah. I felt like after the first, Arsenal lost a lot of steam. Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff he said.
And Arsenal 2-1 first and second though.
I had Iron. No, you're gonna go back and forth.
That's when the battle comes out. We can really get into it. See who really won.
Yeah, we can break it down. And also, I want to point out Arsenal. We understand he's Mr. Disrespectful, and it got real close and drawn out to the battle. Please, and the battle rappers, don't do this. When Arsenal smacked Iron Solomon's hat off, that can instantly cause a fight. Yeah. Be classy. Iron Solomon was classy enough to not react to it.
Yeah, he was about to react. He about to do something.
It was over the top. It was no point of doing that. And Arsenal, you're closing your career out. Go out on a good note. Yeah. Don't do that. That was bad sportsmanship. You knocked the man hat off for no reason at all.
Because he didn't even go to a punchline. He just
kind
of just did it. I think he was rapping towards it, but he just kind of just did it to me.
No, it was uncalled for. So please, I don't want to see. Please don't do that stuff with Lux. Yeah. If you got something planned like that with Lux, do it over, redo it. I don't want to watch
a whole new game plan for Lux. It's gonna be something different because Arsenal did good to me, but this is clearly not enough for Lux. No. And Lux is talking dirty on that UW 24/7. Yeah, Lux is trying to talk to you. So Arsenal probably knows this already. So let's move on to the next one, the main event, the climax of the event. Big K versus Pat Stay. How do you feel, Tad?
Luck lasted for me. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't stop the microwave for this battle. It's hard when you're the main event and you get down and the crowd has been there. You really have to be better than normal to wake the crowd back up. And they didn't do that. I've seen a better Big K. I've seen a better Pat Stay. Yeah. Pat Stay came out in the beginning. He was funny. He was aggressive. But when you get down to it, and I wrote the lines down, he didn't really say much. And I felt like overall, bar-wise, Big K had better bars than Pat Stay.
Of course.
But I just felt like this wasn't the best Big K I've seen. Big K clearly won the battle 3-0.
Oh yeah.
3. There's nothing to debate about here.
Yeah.
It was a 3-0. It seemed like Pat Stay showed up and just took a check. He just stole a check.
Oh man, I think that's what Big K was talking about in his rounds. Hopefully you have a good baby. Maybe he's focusing on the baby. Mm-hmm. He fumbled up some words in the first. Right. Then with the hat chat, back scratch, he just kept on hat scratch, back scratch. But I love the fact that he freestyled Big K's. That's garbage and kicks the floor. Yeah, angry baseball coach. I thought that was funny, but his first round wasn't doing too much for me. I got Big K all 3. Yeah. But how do you feel about Big K in the third? When he came at
Big K in the third.
When he came at the whole staff, everybody.
Oh yeah, that was real risky. That was risky. It was a risky move. It fell flat. I mean, it looked like the crowd had to begin to start to a couple boos were in there a little bit. Very risky move. It's same thing when people do it with the other league owners. It's very risky to come at the person who's paying you. It's all. Sometimes we've seen it executed well, and in this point, it wasn't executed well. It was out of left field. It was like, what's going on here?
He had a point to prove. I mean, it was impactful. I'll say that. You know what I mean? Look at Organic's face. Seemed pretty mad. He wasn't smiling at all. And me being in the building, I was on the right side of the stage. You had Ice himself walk over to look at Big K while he's saying that. You gotta say it to my face, Wolf.
Right.
And just to say that you're the main event of the King of the Dot, and you pretty much called their entire system a fraud.
Racist, basically.
Racist, fraud, and all that. That's crazy to me.
I didn't like it at all.
What do you do? What if you do it in your league? Do you book Big K again? I mean, I would book him. I mean, if you're very neutral, I'm like, Big K is still Big K.
Business standpoint, yeah.
I love Big K as far as a battle rapper. Make sure he's on every card. But wow.
Yeah,
you can't let that happen again. I mean, you gotta put these in contracts now. Oh, you can't slander me like that.
Yeah, I didn't like. He said the King of the Dot chain was fake, and then the neck turned green, and he basically he just talked bad about the whole organization.
That's what I'm saying. It's bad to me.
I didn't like it. I thought it was, you already were doing good. First of all, we're talking about Pat's Day, King of the Dot royalty.
Yeah.
For you to 3-0 Pat's Day, it's a good day. Whether you were the best Big K or not, you had a good day.
Yeah.
It's something to celebrate. You go home, you tell a few friends, hey, look, I did good tonight.
Yeah.
I got a body. I got a 3-0. So for you to already be winning the battle and on your way to a clear 3-0 and you to take that route, you got to switch it up. Just take it out, I didn't like it.
I think I had Pat Stay doing good in the second. I definitely want to watch it. This is for me being in the building. Also, I think for the people that was around the VIP area, the sound wasn't 100%. You heard like a little echoey stuff, so you couldn't hear everyone super clear. But still, I heard enough to know that Big K 3-0 Pat Stay. I mean, it is what it is. I hate to be that guy. Yeah. Big K has me blocked on Twitter.
Unblock him.
Unblock. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that I actually like Pat. I love what Pat Stay does in the ring, but from what I saw, from me being in the building, line bar for bar, maybe I'm probably one of the bar for bar guys. I'm not. I'm an overall package guy. I still think Big K won 3-0.
Yeah.
Period.
Pat Stay was very sloppy in this battle. Even like in the second, he's pausing and you're thinking that he's about to go in or going to something, and then he just starts rapping again. He wasn't good at all.
Yeah, I just think his focus wasn't there. But I just want to say, Pat Stay, congratulations on what was going to happen to you. Yeah. And bless. That's my thoughts on the event. King of the Dot.
Like I said, a good event. Performer of the night, I got to give it to Mickey Fats. Mickey Fats, you were the standout performance of the night. If there was a trophy being given out for performer of the night.
Sure. Hold on. It's supposed to be one. I think they gave Fresco one time.
Well,
so y'all better make sure y'all give Mickey Fats an award, please.
An award. I was very impressed for him not to really be in tune, like not to be a battle rapper per se, and he's more industry. He was very good. His pace, delivery, content. He knew when to dumb it down. He knew when to be intricate. He wasn't just trying to be this wizard throughout the whole battle and make the crowd fall asleep. He was very good. He was aggressive. He was on. He was pressing daylight. He was the performer of the night. It was so clean. He never not once stumbled. I never felt like, he's about to drop the ball. Yeah. He was clean throughout. This was a flawless victory. Yeah. If they're playing a game, he's going to get 1,000, 1,000,000 experience points. And when the numbers rack up after the win, and the screen just goes and then it racks up. The performer of the night, Mickey Fats, performer of the night.
Mickey Fats, I pay attention to you very closely. I watch all your Instagram videos, listen to your music. First of all, in terms of the battle, you did excellent. You did really good. I'm actually proud. So coming from a neutral standpoint, I rocks with you and Daylight, and what you did was very commendable. With that being said, for your next battle, let's turn it up. I've seen you rap 1,000,000 words in 1 second. Like I want some of that. So bring that for your next battle. Leagues, y'all better,
I know who I want to
see. Plate.
I want to see Mickey and Lux.
Already?
Yeah.
Beloved?
Yep. I want to see it.
Mickey versus A-Verb or Mickey versus B-Dot? Let's get that cracking.
First of all, the way Mickey rapped and the way A-Verb played around,
yeah.
Mickey will wash the floor with A-Verb. Wash the floor with A-Verb. A-Verb, A-Verb is not A-Verb anymore. He's not the old. A-Verb is leaving the window open every battle.
Who's the vets? Who is really the vets anymore? Like, who's really from maintaining the stuff besides Tay-Rock or Sue Surfer or one of those guys?
I can't. Sharon's calling himself a smack killer. A-Verb is a smack rapper. He killed one of the smack rappers.
Nah, A-Verb, I think in the second round said I'm not a smack killer. I'm not associated with URL. He's against URL, so I wouldn't consider
his career started with smack. He's always going to be associated with URL and smack.
SB on the corner for Loaded Lux.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to be there, so I wouldn't say it started with smack. What improved it with smack was Math Hoffa versus A-Verb, which helped propel his career a little better. But I see where you're going though, yeah.
His career flourished with URL. He is A-Verb because of URL, and people tend to forget where they came from, and A-Verb is just even in a 2-on-2 battle, it's like average A-Verb. It's even the showtimes are starting to be.
We'll get to it.
I want to see Mickey Facts in Loaded Lux.
Mickey Facts, I'm sorry he said that, but I gotta bring him down to earth. You don't want Loaded Lux right now, Mickey. You did very well, but let's not jump the bridge to Beloved. I don't want to see that yet, Mickey. Chill out, Mickey. Relax. Practice in the booth with Lupe some more, and then try to get to it, but not now, Mickey. Let's just chill out. Mickey, I love you, man. Let's just chill out, Mickey. Let's not go there yet. You know what I mean? Tech 9 is cool and all that.
I'm telling him to go there.
Don't go there yet.
Push the envelope.
Please, Mickey. Don't do it, Mickey. Throw in the towel.
No.
Throw in the towel.
No.
Throw in the towel.
Get in that ring. Press him.
No. The King of the Dot, overall, good event. I felt like, I gotta be real here, a lot of opening battles were lackluster. DNA versus Jims brought that momentum back. Howell versus Disaster saved the event.
Yeah.
Overall, okay, good event.
Great event for me. Like I said, I watched it at home, and I was comfortable. I felt great watching it at home. It was. That's how you throw a pay-per-view stream. League owners, watch this, take notes, battle content, music videos, music before the battles, the whatever.
That's
music.
Avocado. Shout out to Avocado.
Great job. He's getting music from all the artists and their music. Big K had a song on it that I like. A-Verb got a record on it that I like. I like the song.
Yep.
Good songs. Battle rappers can make music.
Shake my hand.
I stopped the microwave for the whole event.
Okay.
My microwave is on pause.
Okay. Champion.
I'm the man, yeah, you gotta love me. You gotta love it. It's all love on the west side. I said I tell it like it is, cause like it is what it gotta be. I'm that nigga that they tryna be, honestly.